in the Remix Morning Show. And it's Thursday. Y'all ready for the weekend? Hey, if not, you better get ready because it's about to go down. All right, it's August. Black August at that. And this is the Remix Morning Show right here on Black Power Media. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Let me introduce you to my host. We got no other than Jackie Luma. Y'all thought some more was coming after that, didn't you?
Not quite yet. Not quite yet.
Nah, we got Joe Netta and Johnny Come Lately coming, so they'll be here.
Joe Meta. You're terrible. What up, y'all?
Oh man. Oh, you are looking beautiful as
Oh
ever
my
today,
God.
Jackie. I mean, just the I think what is that color? It's not even pink. It's
It's fuchsia. One of my
fuchsia.
favorite colors. Favoritist.
I
This is
like
my
that.
little house dress. This is nothing special. And of course, the machine beeps as soon as we get started. So sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, we up here once again. We got Kamal coming through later. He got a guest. We got Kim coming through in a while.
hmm
Whoever who
hmm
you never know who's coming through today, but for right
Never
now,
know.
it's us. So
hmm
Jackie, since it's just us, you got anything
hmm
on your mind, or can I ask you a couple questions?
You can ask me a couple questions, but let me turn off this beeping machine back here so we're not
Hey, listen,
distracted.
I'll let you go ahead, and while you doing that, I'll go ahead and let the people know that they can hit the like button if they just get in here, hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel, and you can also go to patreon.com and rock with us there. Throw some I actually we just dropped something. The after party. It should be probably up there later today. We did an after party after the remix show, so we're gonna start doing those too and put them on
Oh,
Patreon. Yeah, so you're invited to the next
nice.
after party, Jackie. I know you had
You,
to go to work.
yeah, I can never
Yeah,
come to the after party.
it
Mm,
was pretty lit. I
cool,
ain't going for
cool.
it. We talked about a subject of religion.
Oh, okay.
Nah, it was cool. It was more
No,
about when did you start when did you stop going to church? Like,
okay.
yeah, like
hmm
what was that one thing that made you stop going to church? And I ain't even gonna talk about it now. You got to go check it out on Patreon at
That's
least tomorrow.
that's right. That's right. hmm
So, Jackie, what was the thing that got you into being like, all right, I don't like how society is being ran, or what was it? At first, a book? Was it a movement? Was it something that happened in your area that you was like, yo, I don't like this. Let me start changing my whole perspective in life.
I don't think it was one thing. It was. I think it was like a whole lot of things. I think it was just part of my. Almost want to say DNA. I mean, my mom integrated her high school in the small town that we
Hmm.
are from, and there the at one time, and this was in Jarrett, Virginia, Jarratt, and there was Klan activity in the town.
Mm.
My family was threatened by the white folks
The whites.
at one of the school board meetings where they were talking about these bunch of five black kids who were going to integrate the high school, and they were all related, by the way. They're all cousins. My town
Hmm.
is that small.
Okay.
We're all related to each
Oh,
other.
okay.
So kind of learning about that, and when I was in high school, I was I was curious about politics. I was interested in politics, but of course, I learned it from a very liberal perspective. And I had, in high school, the typical liberal responses to, stuff. People are poor because they don't work hard, not understanding that we were poor.
So when you say politics, was it something that affected you? Was it Shirley Chisholm? Was it the Reaganomics? What was it that affected you to make you want to be in politics? Learn about it.
um, it was finally understanding what really happened um during the crack era, which I grew up in. I was in high
Mm-hmm.
school, like the 10th grade when I think crack hit the streets. I mean, literally one summer, and I think it was the ninth grade. The summer after the ninth grade, I went to my grandma's house for the summer with my cousin. And when we came back that fall to go back to school, our neighborhood had changed. I mean, there were people, my mom was driving up the street to our apartment building,
Mm-hmm.
and we lived on like a back street off a back street. The only reason you knew anything was there is if you lived there.
Mm.
So, it's not like there was any reason for a whole bunch of people to be there, but we were driving back from my grandma's, and my mom stopped at the stop sign at the big intersection at the street, and the car was like swarmed by people who I didn't know what was going on. And there, my mom rolls up her window and she's just like, just look straight ahead, just look straight ahead.
Mm.
And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And she doesn't really explain it, but she's clearly unnerved. And then as we used to walk to school, my cousin and I, my younger cousin and I, my mom and my aunt wouldn't let us walk to school anymore. We had to catch the bus because it was just too dangerous. And all of a sudden I noticed that there were homeless people in our neighborhood, never happened, but did not exist before. And there were women in our neighborhood who were like standing in the corner doing something that I didn't know what they were doing. This is how sheltered I was, I think.
Okay.
And I didn't know that there were prostitutes.
I know somebody else who will want to hear this story. If that's cool.
Oh.
One more person I know who would like to hear this story. Coming straight out of Panama, coming straight out of D.C., no other than Dr. Jared Ball.
I was wondering what that bright light was.
He ain't even get in the building. He didn't get his left foot in the building yet.
I was like, what is?
And the shame is that this is as dark as I get. This is me after sun. This is me in the sun.
How do you go to Panama for like, what was it, a week, 2?
About this is it. This is it. This is all I get nowadays. So
you gotta get some Crisco oil. Forget that suntan lotion.
So, but some of us, we just have to be comfortable with who we are in our own skin.
Yes.
So bright and beautiful in the building.
I'll take that.
I got a couple minutes.
Concur.
I was checking out the store. As we're getting ready, I got baby girl got tryouts this morning, so we on our way in a few minutes. But when the latelys show up, I can dip out. But I did,
I'm dipping.
But that intro though, that's what really I was like
that Run DMC?
Yeah, that rock box. I was like, oh my God.
Let's go. Yeah. So we're going to get back to your story, Jackie. Yeah. We're going to get back to your story. But before this dude get out of here, I want to know what Panama. Tell me all about it. You seen we did the mandrels the other day.
That was... And yes, we did. We played, my band Mama's Biscuits played Fence Walk. That was one of our signatures, and I used to get it on the drums on that one too. And we used to extend it. That ending. We did have a horn section. We had backup singers. We had Jeff, the lead singer, played keys, and he would also add to the horn section with the keyboard. But yeah. Anyway, so shout out, and we and to my man Cobham, Billy Cobham, right? Another jazz drummer from Panama by way of Brooklyn, etc. and so forth.
Y'all must have been the brokest band in the world with all them members. I remember.
We played. Nobody was doing it for money. We was doing it. We would get free beer at the parties, and that's
all you need.
Yeah, and the privilege of rocking a crowd. I mean, honestly, that is you know how it is when you look out. I know. And you see all these people, and they groove it to you. It is. I don't know how the mainstream artists survive that. That to me is no wonder I understand why Michael Jackson, Prince, and others would drug themselves literally to death to keep getting back on stage, because I get it. And then Prince was doing all those private party shows in his Purple Palace or whatever that was. So I mean, you want to do it. We used to do the same. We used to overdo it. Play as many parties as possible, as many gigs as possible, just to be playing. So anyway, yes. But anyway, Panama was. I talked a little bit about it yesterday on the show I did, but it was I mean, it's always beautiful to see family, and my daughters get to see all the generations up to great grandparents, um a lot of family. The it is always nice to be you know, you don't see, certainly how we do it, we don't see tourists. So we don't see, you know, Europeans, we don't see Americans, you don't see like the traditional whites, you know, that we see here. There's no, it's a nice break. You get a wide variety, different form of Africanity. But you also get, there's a just deeply colonized people. I mean, at the same time. I mean, so you know,
Like no political talk. You can't. There's no. They
not
like,
in the
this is what it
family. The
is.
family is, and it's weird too, because we have everybody from the you know, most beautifully dark complected possible humans. Like there's no, maybe in the Sudan, maybe. I mean, we get all that blackness is in the family, as and then you get people who are one or two even lighter than me, but we got trans folks in the family. We got all kinds of stuff, but they don't talk like politics. Like there's not. So that's a little bit for me of a struggle.
That's a real vacation for you. Like you could really get away and not have to
It's
talk
not
about all
though,
the.
but that I don't want to get away from that.
I get it, but sometimes you got. It's like a job that you're addicted to. Where
The
sometimes you
vacation
gotta,
though is, it would be if we could add if we could add to the settings, the laid back with the big plates of food, the drinks, the sun, and then get into the politics. That would be the perfect vacation. And nobody
that
got to
should-
go to work tomorrow.
I think that should be a family game. Like put some topics in a bowl and then pick out a topic and then have like a time limit you could talk about. Everybody go around. No, it won't happen.
No.
So,
It'd be a fight.
and then you
Nah,
see
no.
the Americanisms too. I mean, you see, you know, I mentioned it yesterday. People want to go on strike about Starbucks here, and Starbucks putting up stores all over the place down there. You got, you know,
Wow.
you see the movies, you see the advertisements, you see the U.S. athletes and entertainers on big murals and store, you know, selling perfume and clothing in the malls and on the thises and the that's. You see the wild shifts. We live you know, I'm in the bourgeoisie here, so to speak, but we in the bougie, you know, we bougie down there, and relative. I mean. Anyway, it's a little more complicated than that, but when you see the wild swings in class, I mean, you know, it's wild. It's wild. A lot of it's anyway, and then a lot of the routine, the darker the community, here comes all the policing, all the violence, all the. I mean, it's everything you would expect in a colony. It's all the beauty and horror that you get, and it's a little more, I think. It's different from here. It's a little more complicated, I think, and it's a little more difficult to deal with. But yeah, anyway.
Big up to Nelson Mercer. $5. Everything is political except politics. Mind if I do a J? No, you can do a
Don't
J,
mind at
a
all.
blunt,
If
whatever.
we
you
on,
want.
Don't
if
mind
that's
at
what we
all.
mean,
A
yeah.
bong hit. Okay, edible. We can keep going. A shroom. Listen, we in the
I would
room.
like Panama to get caught up with some of that. They are still very retrograde on the laws and the
They got
social.
that backyard boogie.
I mean, you got to do everything like, you know. It's like reverting to old school. Now all the like up here, the conversations about weed is easy. It's all legal now. And then you go down there and it's all like, you know, tu quieres verde? Tu quieres hierba? I got that, yeah. You know, it's like it's all back in the cut again. It's like, oh.
In case y'all didn't know, verde is green.
It's
in the
green and
Spanish.
yerba is grass and you gotta so you
Help-
gotta
help
go
y'all
back
out.
to the donde
Speak-
está.
Speaking of green, let's give it up for no other than Kamal K. Franklin.
Hey.
Why green? Is that a money reference or something?
Oh,
Yeah.
For you,
No.
Sure.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Well, we got the crew
Swinging
coming
the
through. We got Kim still coming through. We got an interview at 9.
Mhm.
Jared, I hope you can't hang around before you got a jet for a minute.
I got a couple minutes. And
Okay,
then,
well,
and then we
I'll-
got to get baby girl.
I'll do
up
a
to
super
tryouts.
quick break, and then we'll go ahead and get right back to it. And right here at No Other, then what's the name of this show? The Remix Morning Show.
Damn.
Yeah.
Buy it, 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 buy it.
Zoom it, press it.
Man, not again.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome out to No Other Than the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you are new to the channel. As I said, once again, go to patreon.com, go to blackpowermedia.org, go check out the merchandise, go check out all the things we got on the website, and get down with the team, you know what I mean? All right, with that said, we're going to take a quick break. We want to represent 50 years of hip-hop. Who we going to talk about real quick? Let's talk about no other than... No, matter of fact, let's not even go there yet. Let's go to this. Have you heard that before? Let's get with that first. So let's play this song right here and tell me if you heard this before. This right here came out in 1974. This is off Three Tough Guys album. And the name of the artist is no other than Isaac Hayes. And the name of this song right here is called Hung Up on My Baby. Woo! And if you don't know that, if you don't know where I'm going with this, then you must have been stuck under a rock. I'm just saying. Because in 1991, a certain group came out with a song very similar to that. Who am I talking about?
Been with my finger on the trigger.
No other than the Ghetto Boys.
I ain't living right.
But I ain't going out without a fight. Oh.
See, every time my eyes close.
Yes, that's right. In 1991, We Can't Be Stopped. Ghetto Boys came out with My Mind Is Playing Tricks on Me, using the same sample right there from Isaac Hayes. So there we go. Taking you back, taking you forth. That is your sample for today. Now let's get back to my crew. You know how we do right here on the Remix Morning Show. Show.
That was too quick. You ain't put there was no drama in it. There's no backstory, history. Where you got to go?
Oh, yeah, I got to go at 9.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Yeah, so you taking over after 9. And
Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be no breaks. And what's the button I push at the end?
in broadcast.
All right.
Like a big orange button in the right corner.
Don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like that.
And you can't just
I'm a
push it
professional.
once.
I'm a professional.
Once you push it once, it asks you again. You
Oh,
sure?
twice I got to push it.
Yeah.
He's so professional. He don't need his mic.
Mm-mm.
And the mic is not on again?
No, that's how professional you are.
God damn.
Yeah, very echoey.
Yeah.
It's-
Old
you
toxic
know.
boss self.
So let me get out of here and let y'all chop
Well,
it up.
before you go, I just wanted to say real quick
Mhm.
that Willie D, to see him now more engaged as a podcaster, including in the drama with Boyce Watkins and who's his boy? Because his boy is
Steve
Boyce
Harvey,
Watkins.
he was-
and what's the Corey
Stephen A.
Holcomb?
Smith. He can't, who does Willie D like? He go against them all. He don't care.
But
He said
but
he
he
want to
did
box
seem.
Stephen A.
I
We're in a
would
box who?
Stephen A. Smith.
I would absolutely. I would pay for that. That's one boxing match I would pay for. I would even go to it.
Oh yeah.
I would even go to it. Be in the front row. But yeah. Anyway, but he did look a little hugged up with Watkins' wife in them wedding pictures. That when Corey Holcomb was playing them, I was like, why is she leaned up all on this man at her wedding next to her new husband? I was like, that's a funny looking photo. It could have been just caught in the moment, but it was Corey made a meal out of that though. He made a meal out of that though.
Leah Boggs, I'm about to take your hip hop
Oh,
card
no.
away from you.
Oh no.
I'm about to
Oh,
take it
no.
away. Who is Willie D? Oh my
Oh
goodness.
no. Oh no.
If it's going down, let's get it over with. The one that
Yeah.
sounds like that on
Boy.
Mind Playing Tricks.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway.
Jared is very upset.
Yeah, that hurt a little bit. Like
I had her in the hip hop, the crew, and then she turns around and does something like that. Oh.
I think you
Yeah,
got to fix
that
that,
hurt.
Leah. I
Yeah,
think you because of the same situation yesterday with someone have not seen the Blues Brothers. I think you need to fix that, Leah.
Who had not?
Somebody had not seen the Blues Brothers movie.
Oh, you didn't catch that yesterday? Yes,
You know what?
yes.
I'm not shocked by that one. I mean, there's some young folks up in here that don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
guess. Yeah.
Yo,
I guess.
damn. I don't get it.
We're not kicking her out the crew though. We're not.
What we talking about, Lucretia?
What she
Leah.
did to that poor sister's
Leah.
name, no.
Leah's name, she gonna go back to being Lee now. Just
No.
until she gets her hip hop up.
That's what it is.
No, we don't kick people out just yet.
All right.
You know.
Did I
be
fix the
back.
mic, by the way? Is the mic okay now?
No.
There you go. Just don't talk
Yes.
all in it. You be
I
mad.
don't hear an improvement at all. What-
Testing
what-
1 2 3. Testing
Yeah.
1 2 3.
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, I said my radio voice is on. Testing 1 2 3.
Speak right in the mic. You'll
You know what?
watch this.
Talk to
Watch
me
this.
like that again.
No. Watch. Speak right in the mic, and you'll see the difference.
Testing 1 2 3.
See, it's on.
Uh-huh.
That's better. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I had it off to the side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
can't
do that.
test it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, be right in front of you. That's how these things work. Okay.
Goodness, I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So I pressed end broadcast twice. Got it. Jay, you not gonna be with us for a long time today?
Nah, man, I got to take baby girl to her soccer tryouts. It's intense. It's intense in these tree-lined streets.
Ooh.
These soccer programs hit the ground, and then the very next day, 3 straight days of tryouts.
Ooh.
Wow, 3 straight days. What?
Yeah, multiple hours every morning this
Good
entire
grief.
week.
Hey,
When
real
do you
quick.
start teaching again?
Oh,
Oh,
good. My bad. Real quick. Tuesday on the Remix Morning Show, we're gonna have a special one talking about Ladies First. It's a documentary on Netflix. We're gonna talk about it. It's on
Oh,
some
nice.
hip hop for the ladies. All right. go ahead.
Oh no!
You just
Netflix
came back
on
wanted
that.
a
Oh,
documentary.
what does that mean? What is he?
Yeah, it's done by MC Light, one of the greatest MCs ever. Why is your
True.
face like that? You like, hey, nobody can do a
Because
documentary.
but they're destroying all of these folks. I know what the narrative is. I can almost bet right now, and
See,
she's
there
going to
you
start
go.
talking about women have empowered themselves through hip hop and all this stuff. It's so. I'm gonna watch it though, and I'm gonna
Please
definitely
do.
watch what you all do because I loved your conversation with Minister Server.
Oh, thank
But
you.
but these hip hop narratives, all of these, this 50th anniversary thing to me is just abusive. I've been finding it abusive. So like this whole thing of we was in trouble and then hip hop came and look at us now.
Saved us.
I'm like, what are we talking about? Golly. So we're gonna get another verse. Now we're gonna get the women are all right now because we got Cardi B and Megan and what's her name coming out? The Barbies is coming out with a new album in a minute. What's her name?
The bar.
Ooh.
Nicki Minaj?
Nicki Minaj. She got a new album coming out.
It wasn't
So
even
we-
about that. That's why I'm saying
Okay,
check it out.
all right. I'm gonna
check it out. Now we got to realize MC Light came from a Black Power type family structure, so she ain't doing. She ain't
did?
about. Yeah. Do the history. But yeah, she ain't
It's
about.
not
just
in her
doing,
music though. I
Why
need
is
a
it-
roughneck.
History.
I need a roughneck. I need a man that's gonna beat up other men. Remember that was
That
one
one
of her biggest
song?
hits. It was one of her bigger hits though. You
I
gotta
mean, she
admit
need
that.
a manly man. What's the matter
It was
with
a good
that?
song. It was a good song, though. It was a
I
good
don't
song.
entirely disagree, but I see your point.
But I'm just saying, whereas it's not. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, Queen Latifah has done more Black Power songs than she has.
Georgie Porgy, Puddin' Pie. Her first song, Crack, Cram to Understand You, was about what was going on in the 80s about crack, self-destruction. She was on that. She did a
But
song.
remember,
Who was it? I was on
Burroughs
self
is right,
destruction.
though.
Who wasn't on
Remember,
self destruction, B?
Self-destruction was as much about keeping them venues open as it was about anything revolutionary. That was not a song about let's have a revolution. It was like, we're not going to be violent, so you can let us have shows in arenas and make our money. That's as much as what was going on with that as anything else. So
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
start calling Jared the Cloud. Come and fuck up the sunshine.
the dark cloud cometh.
I'm out of here.
What's funny is we did have a homeboy that we used to call that in college. It was
The
he was
clown?
just so yeah, because he was always just not with the politics, just with the depression. It was just always like, let's go party. He'd be like, nah, I don't really think I feel like it. We'd be like, oh God, my dude.
The Get's nickname, not for depression, was Chief Storm Cloud because she can come in angry or she can come in happy. I forgot what the other one. It was like Steve Princess Sun. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Princess Sunshine and Chief Storm Cloud. That was her
Oh,
dual nickname
okay.
because you just
All
never know
right.
what you was gonna get.
You never knew. That's her Beyonce Sasha Fierce.
That's her
thing.
Beyonce Sasha Fierce. pre
Do
Sasha.
you know, I found out one of my homeboys, one of my closest, most radical revolutionary homeboys, had his oldest daughter at Beyonce's show. I was shocked. And his argument was, but we had a chance to see Michael Jackson. We can't deny our children their generational moment to see their equivalent of Michael
Is
Jackson.
Beyonce today's Michael Jackson for this? For
My buddy's
I didn't know
argument was that she's bigger, that there will be no bigger artist. What did that get say?
she's screaming from the rafters, "Y'all are sexist pigs." Of course, she's today's Michael
She
Jackson.
I
is.
was
She
agreeing.
is.
I was agreeing. My only hesitance was I was shocked that he allowed his daughter to that show. That was my
She's not
shock.
Michael B. She's not Michael though. She's not that kind of legend.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank
I
you
don't
very
know.
much.
I
and
don't
thanks for the
know.
super chat.
I don't know. I think
What's
think
the
there's
album?
some validity. I think there's some validity to that argument when you look at the popularity of Beyonce.
Oh,
What is her
definitely.
Thriller? What is
I
her
mean,
Thriller album?
The,
What is
I'm,
her
I'm
album?
not
That
talking- I'm not
Lemonade
talking about
joint is her
album
Thriller.
sale. I'm not talking about album
Lemonade?
sales and that.
I think so.
and-
Not that
I'm about to put my mic on mute because you can't be screaming from.
that-
that.
no, you're not gonna silence them
Don't-
in their own house.
Agat, come and tell us what's the best
Be careful,
Beyonce album.
Kabal. I was about to
She
say,
said
be
Lemonade.
careful,
She said
Kabal.
Lemonade.
I wasn't saying, and I'm not saying it that I liked it or listened to it carefully. I'm saying in terms of its impact and the size and its.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm asking. No,
Yeah.
I'm asking, is
That's
she
what I
really
think.
comparable to
Oh, I
Michael?
think so.
in that
I
way.
think so.
I do
Okay.
think so. I think,
I
so.
think-
I mean,
and-
the
and-
woman is. Yeah,
She might be bigger.
She's her.
Yeah,
She's
right, no,
selling out
no.
football stadiums.
No. She's not
She
bigger
might
than
be
Michael.
bigger.
Wait a minute.
No.
She
And it's-
she can't stand on stage like Mike for a whole couple minutes and just the crowd scream like that yet. I don't think she's
can
on that
stand
level.
I
on
bet she
stage
can.
for 2 minutes and
I
tell the
bet she
crowd to
can.
be silent, and they did it.
I bet
Okay.
she can.
She
She
I
can
bet
not.
she
she's
can.
big. She's the new Michael Jackson if you say that. Yeah.
I
mean,
bet she can.
I don't like Beyonce, but I gotta give her.
I don't mind Beyonce. There's some of her music I like.
And I'm not comparing the music.
On her homecoming album.
You hear the beehive back there? You hear the beehive?
Yeah, basically,
They have
yeah.
buzzing.
You can't talk about Beyonce, and I can't talk about Van Jones because she knows him. And she still gets yeah. It's a point of contention in the house. So every time I got something to say about him, she's like, "Well,
Okay, you might
man."
need to turn the mic off and then.
Well,
How about that?
with all due respect, Ed Get might be on the wrong side of history on that one. No disrespect.
I'm loyal.
No disrespect.
They can hear
History-
you. I ain't got to tell them you're loyal. They can hear you shouting from up top that you're loyal.
History will absolve us. But
I
but
mean, I just
yeah.
I just think Beyonce does have that international, endless, almost unhinged devotion to her. That Mike, I just other than like the weird phenomenon with the Beatles, I had never seen anybody just like standing in line screaming and crying uncontrollably at an artist until Michael Jackson. And you see kind of the same thing with Beyonce. And these are stadiums full, stadium fulls, whichever one it is, of fans, not just in the United States, but around the world. I think she is as big as Michael Jackson. I think
and it's
she
a
is.
new digital media era. It's so easy. Everybody she's in every. And I'm not, again, this is not a judgment of talent, music, none of that. I'm
Right.
just saying, and I don't know what her writing crew was like. Michael Jackson, and this is always my argument, is why Prince was better. Michael Jackson had the best songwriters working for him. you know. So I don't know if Beyonce gets that. I'm not judging the music, but just the global impact, it might be. Anyway, that was his argument, and I was just shocked because I was like, you let your daughter go? Like, I wouldn't even send mine.
You would let your daughter go to a Beyonce concert?
Hell no. For
Why?
what?
It's pretty
Why?
soft. I mean, it's not like, it's almost like seeing Michael in that way. It's not
Only
like
because the world, the power structure wants her too much. That's it. I'm not judging talent, music, nothing. It's like they like her too much. Pepsi, $50 million? No, I wouldn't do it.
Michael Jackson had an endorsement deal with Pepsi.
I didn't go see him either. I didn't send my children to go see him either. And they burnt his hair.
Pepsi
burnt Michael Jackson. Never forget that. So we don't have. I see this. We don't have no fun. We just have different fun. So you know,
Even when
I respect
Who Run
it.
the World Girls comes on. Who Run the World
yeah.
Girls? Your daughter be on there like, we run it. Hey.
no, because I
Just
would
so
want
long as
them
they
not
ain't
until you
running in
actually,
the-
not
just so
until you
long as they ain't
actually
running
do.
sweatshops.
Well, there you go. And they don't. This whole thing, girls run the world. What is this nonsense? What is that? No, they don't.
Whatever.
No, they don't. Exactly. Exactly. I'm with you, T Brown. Never forget, Pepsi burnt Michael Jackson. God damn it. So when everybody asks you like Pepsi or you like Coke, Coke ain't burned Michael Jackson.
Oh damn it.
Jared daughter
Oh,
out in the
man.
hallway like, can we leave now?
Right. She's like,
Exactly.
I'm
Oh,
not
that is
gonna miss
me.
my soccer tryout for you.
Oh no, she get ready. We about to leave. Y'all can get rid of me in a second. I just, you know,
I respect it though. I respect it. I do. I respect it.
But there's a
Excuse me,
rapper
but I
from-
respect it.
there's a rapper from Columbia, Maryland that they're trying to, my daughters want me to get them. And I can't remember which one it is. Is it Brent Faiyaz or somebody else? Apparently he's literally from right around where I grew up out here in Columbia.
And what they trying to get you to let him go to his concert?
Yeah. On that basis, they're like, well, what about him? Because I'm always like, nah, I'm not taking you to these shows. And then but
If it's Brent Fires, I don't know. All mine, all mine, all mine. Oh, he is.
yeah, out here, OB in Columbia, this dude, I don't know if it's him or somebody else. One of these dudes is from out here. And they want me to go, you know, and the tickets are way cheaper apparently, and all this other kind of stuff. But I'm not compared to Beyonce, and I'm not, you know. But I don't know.
Have you listened to any of his music?
No, I don't know anything about it. You know, but it's only the basis of him being from out here. So I would take him to Dead
that's
Prez,
right.
and I saw that Dead Prez is going to be in New York soon, and I actually thought about it, but we're all over the place right now, so I don't know if we'd be able to organize that.
Ain't they gonna be in Virginia too? Ain't that the thing?
At the
At Happily Natural. So maybe we could do that. Now, my daughters have seen The Coup perform and met Boots. Shout out to Tondi, who just had him on. And I think they've actually been to a Dead Prez show. They might have just been very young, like babies.
They don't remember that.
We used to have, yeah, I mean, it don't count, but we used to have them out all the time and stuff like that. And they've been to a lot of hip hop stuff around here. You know, non-superstar, non-stadium stuff. But but now that I found that there is a spot out here in these tree-lined streets that regularly has live go-go, that's Grown Folks Go-Go. Has got regular stuff happening out here. I am going to be at this spot on a regular basis, and I will be bringing my children to at least a couple of them. Once I you know, scope it out, make sure, you know, but the Grown Folks Go-Go is out here in these tree-lined streets, and it's some of the best news that I'm late to. So I will be, you know, Still Familiars playing out here. Backyard Band's going to be out here.
Oh,
I think
nice.
on the 20-something.
Backyard Band? Who the hell is that?
Oh man,
Take him off the screen.
just
Thank you.
legends. Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly,
He just-
exactly.
Oh,
Big
my God.
G and the crew. I've actually been on a panel with Big G. Good dude. I enjoyed it. Talk about his time on The Wire. Anyway, you know,
Mr. Curmudgeon down there.
Man, Go-Go is so local.
Nottingham's
Oh.
Nottingham's is the Nottingham's Bar and Grill. Sorry, that's the spot it's gonna be. I see people
okay.
asking me about it, and they got regular. They've been doing it apparently for a minute. I'm late.
Wow.
So they have regular things happening out there, and that's gonna be my new spot. You're gonna see me in the back doing my 2-step.
Yo, Kamal, I got your
Yeah.
back, man. Go-Go is mad local, so a lot of people don't know about Go-Go.
Oh, I'm
know
not mad
about
at
it.
you for not
Hey,
knowing
don't
Big
be
G.
explaining
I'm not
nothing
mad
to
at
Kamal the
it. No.
Curmudgeon.
That's fair. That's fair. I can't expect an Atlanta by way of Brooklyn knowing, or Brooklyn by way of it, whatever it is, whatever. I can't expect Kamal to know who Big G is, but I am still a little slightly disappointed that Leah didn't know who Willie D is. That's still a different.
No, that's fair. She should get all the blame. She should catch all that.
Yeah. So anyway, what you want to get to? We slapping the map real quick.
Let's slap the map.
Yeah.
What up?
Welcome back.
Oh,
Remix
yeah.
Morning Show.
True. Oh, and I know we jumping over each other, but we got a special Patreon mix coming up for y'all that we're gonna put up later today. Exclusive Patreon content. We haven't come up with a real good name, but maybe it's the after party to the remix, or the remix after, whatever. So we had a little discussion about our personal religious experiences, bumping up what we talked about on the show yesterday. Me, Kim, and the Ear Doctor. We're gonna put that up. Exclusive Patreon content. The king of Patreon, Dr. Jared Ball, is here. Jackie Lukman is here. Kamal Franklin is here. Kim, who is searching for a link, is trying to join us. And I think I sent her the link. Oh, there you go. There we go. So Kim will be joining us soon. And at 9 o'clock, we have a special guest. Because of Kim's special request, Miss Kiana Jones is going to be joining us. Kiana is an organizer with Community Movement Builders and does a lot. And she is a spiritual leader, a Christian. And she does a lot of Stop Cop City work here in Atlanta. So yeah. She'll be joining us at 9.
Beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kim Brown.
Yes.
Y'all asked and I delivered. That's how I do.
I take it back. You
take it all back?
Not all of it. I take it.
But he delivered, Jacqueline. He came through, right?
I take the Kamal, the curmudgeon from just a few minutes ago. I take that back.
Only that one insult? All the others stand?
I mean, if it does not apply, let it fly.
That's saying. Yeah.
It's a big hole you got to dig out.
It is a big. It sounds like.
Peace, JB. What's going on with you?
What's up, Kim?
You back from Central Americano?
I'm back in Babylon,
Oh,
yeah, back home. Hit the ground running, and about to literally. Well, my daughter's about to hit the ground running in a second when we take her to tryouts. So I was just hanging out.
Let's go.
Keeping
Let's
Jackie
go.
company. Yeah, she was beating up them kids down there in the parks in Panama. Now she got to do it for real. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Bring it.
snap.
Bring it.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
that real football training ground down there in Panama.
Oh yeah. Get out there in the tree-lined Panamanian streets.
Right.
Because we bougie down there too. I'm not trying to front.
There's some bougie
Like, we
areas.
got- Oh, we in them. We in them, and we like, and it's so funny because Abuela and for, like, it's still like they still straight out the hoods of the hoods, and like my first visit in Panama was rough. I'm not gonna front, like it was a rough visit. It was like the hood, so they moved up a little bit, but she still. Thank you, Namdi. Thank you, Soda for life. But she'll sit out there. and bring some of that hood to the tree lines, and some of the other neighbors don't always appreciate it. They've had a couple conversations about why your grandma sitting out on the front porch all the time talking to the neighbor. Like they didn't like for a while that was even a controversy. Like because she'll sit out in the front. They put her little rocket chair out in the front, in the driveway in this little gated community. And the other neighbors, some of the neighbors were like, that's
Just
ghetto.
unseemly.
Ghetto, exactly.
Because she be out there, talking to everybody like
Bringing down the property value.
Isn't that what all grandmas do? Sit out on the porch and talk to people walking by? I'm confused.
But it sounded like she wasn't even on the porch. You say she was in the driveway.
She was in the front. There aren't really a porch per se. Like the front is the driveway, and then and she just would be out there, and apparently folks was like that was one of the things on their list of don't do's. But they have a little park in there, and the kids play in there. And my daughter was was giving it to him.
Giving
And
some
now
of that run.
and now she got to do it for real. So
She gonna kill him. Let's go. Let's go.
Get 'em,
Little
get 'em.
daughter ball. Let's get it.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna hang out at least for a couple more minutes. Get and then dip on out. They have an HO.
Say, hey, can we shout out the
people?
good people of Ohio for shutting down ballot initiative number 1?
Oh, right.
Yes.
Folks don't know the initiative to make abortion or to stop
Let's
abortion.
Go.
The
Let's
Republicans
go.
were trying to make it a constitutional amendment in the Ohio Constitution, and it was soundly defeated a
They
few
have
days
one more
ago.
step to go. They have one more step to go. So they defeated this referendum that would have changed the way that the Ohio Constitution gets changed, from changing it from a simple majority to a super majority. So the Ohio voters voted this down, but they still have to go and vote in November to make sure that abortion access is secured in the Constitution. So there's still one more step to go in Ohio, but this was a big one because the conservatives thought they was going to handle this shit, and everybody in Ohio said nope. We like access to medical care, like abortion services. So we gonna shut this shit down. Congratulations, Ohio. Well deserved.
And in typical GOP fashion, what the Republicans in Ohio did, and if people don't know, Ohio is technically a red state. The Republicans control the legislature and have control.
Jackie, sorry to interrupt, but peace, y'all. I got to go. Sorry, everybody. Sorry to
Peace,
interrupt.
no.
Peace. Catch you all
Peace.
later. Thanks again. Peace.
So Ohio is basically a red state. The Republicans have controlled the legislature and the top levels of government for more than a decade. And earlier this year or last year, the Republicans voted to end these special elections because they're sparsely attended. The people don't participate in them. But then the Republicans put forth this a proposal to change the Constitution during the special election that they just voted to get rid of, thinking that people were not going to come out and vote for it, thinking that it was going to easily pass. And the people in Ohio was like, fuck that. We see y'all. We see, not only are you not getting rid of special elections, but we're not letting you change our Constitution because we know you're doing this to try to stop us from protecting abortion access in November. So,
From what I understand, there was at least a 5-fold increase in voter turnout from previous special elections. So, I mean, I can't credit the folks on the ground in Ohio enough because it was an organizing effort. And I mean, the reproductive justice people and others obviously got out there and spread the fucking word. They spread the word like, no, this shit is important. I know it doesn't sound plausible to go to the ballot box on August the 8th. You know what I mean? But y'all got to turn up for this. And they had significant early voting turnout as well in advance of yesterday's final day of voting. So amazing. And the funny thing is, all of these, a lot of these abortion bans in certain places are getting struck down when it's put to the people, like what they did. What was that? Kansas, and I think also Michigan. They enshrined it in their state constitution, the right to abortion access. So All right. And I hope the Democrats are paying attention. Like y'all ain't got shit else to run on but this. You know what I'm saying? And y'all need to run on this like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to run on this like a motherfucker. And it was ironic to me that Biden, I don't even think Biden or Kamala showed up in Ohio, which I thought was interesting. And like, well, y'all turned up in Tennessee for the Tennessee 3, and where else did Kamala show up? Oh, down in Florida to bash, DeSantis's bullshit racist policies. But it's like, why didn't y'all go to Ohio? Why didn't they send Kamala to Ohio to rally the base, as it were?
Yeah, it's this whole thing in Ohio, and the way, Kim, that you just explained how abortion access is being protected in what are traditionally known as red states is an example or the result of what grassroots organizing is supposed to look like. This is if voting is going to matter in this country, this is how it's done. The coalition that was able to facilitate this defeat of the GOP efforts in Ohio is a result of a broad coalition of different groups of people, even bipartisan. There were 4 former governors, not all of them Democrats, former attorneys general who were against the GOP doing. They were all, this was a result very much like what's being done in Atlanta to gather signatures for the Stop Cop City effort. You have to get on the ground. You have to go door to door. You have to talk to people about the issues, because people don't automatically know that these issues impact them unless you explain it to them. We can't just assume that people understand why these issues are important to them, even if it's something they would never choose for themselves, right? Particularly on abortion. Most people think, well, abortion doesn't impact me because I am against abortion, or I would never choose to have an abortion. But we need to explain to people why this is a human rights healthcare issue that does impact them, whether they would choose abortion for themselves or not. And the only way this happened in Ohio and in Kentucky and in Michigan and in other states was that people got on the ground, they door knocked, and they had conversations with people. That's grassroots organizing, and that's what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Y'all got any other news stories y'all want to pull up real quick?
Did y'all already talk about the man them who they capped for trying to shoot Biden?
No.
Girl, Utah. Y'all do your Googles real quick. Pull up. Look, y'all, there was an assassination plot allegedly against the president by I believe a 60-year-old white man in Utah, and the man was tweeting. First of all, I'm not laughing. Maybe I am laughing. I don't know. But like when I tell you that the FBI gave this man so much rope, like they came and talked to him. He told him to get the fuck off his property. And then he went and tweeted about the FBI was a bunch of buffoons, and then said, "Oh, Biden's coming to town. Let me dust off my ghillie jacket," or whatever the fuck it is, the sniper jacket. He said, "Let me dust off my M24. Since Biden is coming in town." And then the Fed showed up. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. Here go the package.
No, keep talking.
Okay. So he said, "I'm gonna dust off my M24 sniper rifle." And then the feds came to his house, and it was a shootout, and they ended up killing him. I said, "Ooh, listen, Trump got shooters out here. Don't fuck around." Like it's a serious problem when a 60-year-old white man. Now, not to say that whoever a would-be assassin has an age limit on it, but I was impressed, I guess, by the age, because I'm like, God damn, if the 60-year-old white man is radicalized like this, them 18-year-olds is lining up to be shooters for Trump. Jeez, Louise.
So what? So I mean, somebody could start reading the story, or whatever. So the FBI came to his house to arrest him or warn him, and then it turned into a shootout, or
something of that nature. But it wasn't the FBI's first time visiting him. That's the wild shit.
Okay, so this is what AP is reporting. An armed Utah man accused of making violent threats against President Joe Biden was shot and killed by FBI agents hours before the president landed in the state Wednesday. Special agents were trying to serve a warrant on the home of Craig DeLeo Robinson in Provo, south of Salt Lake City, when the shooting happened at 6:15 a.m. Robertson was armed at the time of the shooting, according to 2 law enforcement sources who spoke to AP on the condition of anonymity. Robertson posted online Monday that he had heard Biden was coming to Utah, and he was planning to dig out a camouflage suit and began, quote, cleaning the dust off the M24 sniper rifle, end quote, post in a post that came after months of graphic online threats against several public figures, according to court documents. Robertson referred to himself as a MAGA Trumper, a reference to former President Donald Trump's Make America Great Again slogan, and also posted threats against top law enforcement officials overseeing court cases against Trump.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Neighbors.
He got shooters.
Yeah. Neighbors described Robertson, apparently he wasn't, as a frail elderly man. His online profile put his age at 74, who walked with the age of a hand-carved stick. Though he regularly carried guns, they said he didn't seem like a threat.
Because in their world, everybody got a gun.
That's normal. One of the neighbors says there's no way that he was driving from here to Salt Lake City, setting up a rifle and taking a shot at the president. 100% no way. Even though that's literally what the man said he was going to do. There was no way he's okay. The attack comes as Republicans, who have traditionally touted themselves as the party of law and order, have escalated their attacks on law enforcement, and especially the FBI. On and on and on. Biden flew to Wednesday. Robertson's posts indicated he did appear to own a long-range sniper rifle and numerous other weapons, as well as camouflage gear known as a ghillie suit. Investigators said in court records, Robertson was charged under seal Tuesday with 3 felony counts, including making threats against the president and against FBI agents investigating him. Robertson also referenced a presidential assassin and also posted threats against Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland, and New York Attorney Letitia James. He apparently said the time is right for a presidential assassination or two.
Or two?
First Joe, then Kamala. This is what he posted in September 2022 on his Facebook post.
Damn.
Yeah, the FBI investigation began with a tip about the Bragg threat from Trump's own social media platform, Truth Social, in March, after Robertson posted about waiting in the courthouse parking garage with a suppressed weapon and wanting to put a nice hole in his forehead.
Damn. He was an angry old man.
Okay, let's see.
My man said I'm 74, my trigger finger 47.
Travis Lee Clark, who's known Robertson for years from working at their church ward together, described Robertson as y'all.
I'm sorry. That one just knocked me out. Thou shalt not kill, but you know.
Right.
Except assassination attempts.
He described Robertson as frail of health, a masterful woodworker, and an established icon in their community. He was a boomer, and he was very political and sometimes made off-color jokes, but nothing that indicated it was a threat.
Except I'm assassinate the president. Dusting off my sniper rifle. No. He was just playing.
More bullshit from white Christian nationalists. Paul Searing, a businessman who lived in Provo before relocating to nearby Orem, said he had followed Robertson online for years and even warned him when he believed the other man was crossing a line. In his posts, he said he believed in his right to bear arms. He believed in his right to say what he feels. When it came down to it, he knew the Lord wouldn't have approved of killing innocent people. Things got out of hand because he was just really frustrated. What? Okay. So
What
yeah,
was he
this,
so frustrated about? What was this 74-year-old man who seemed to live in a nice little house over there so frustrated about that he needs to post online? On himself that he's about to commit several assassinations, not just one, several. Even not the Law and Order dude, was like, yeah, somebody's gonna come visit your house, B. You can't be putting up assassination attempts several times over with the rifle. You got a rifle and everything else, and not think that's not gonna cause a visit to a house. Now, I have no idea why, what was the circumstances in which they decided to kill the 74-year-old, but it's gonna cause a visit to a house if you put up several threats of assassinations. That's, have to be several times. And for his neighbors and friends to just be like, well, yeah, he's just kind of joking. It's like, because y'all all got guns too, and y'all thinking the same shit. Y'all just don't want to be posting it online.
What's wild to me is the number of times that he was visited by the FBI. I think even prior to this attempt to serve a warrant on him, maybe the FBI been to his house on 2 prior occasions regarding his online postings. And all I was thinking was, let me post some shit about doing some shit to Joe Biden. It'd be an FBI SWAT team surrounding my house. They wouldn't just come and have a friendly chat. You understand?
No.
You know,
Come on, Uncle Joe. You know you don't mean that. Can you stop putting that up on that line again for me? They probably asked him like 3 times to stop.
Right, politely asked.
Right, like
Could
a
you
few
please?
things stood out in this article. The fact that this is how white people view dangerous white people. This is how they view other white people. White people can live around other white people, can go to church with white people, can work with white people, can be neighbors with white people who, when these people say off-color jokes, they mean racist, violent shit. That's what they mean. This is not just like your cute little double entendre, look, halfway innocent sexual innuendo. No, this is niggas hanging from trees type of bullshit that this man has been joking about. This is what they mean by off-color jokes. This man has been saying this kind of garbage all this time, and his church friends, his neighbors, the people who followed him online. Oh, he didn't mean it. It didn't seem threatening, because that's normal to white people to joke about the dehumanization of and the violence against other people. So it's wild to me that people are still kind of confused about how racialized violence continues to happen in this country, because it's just normal. Second, this whole thing about his church, he knew that the Lord wouldn't want innocent life to be taken. Now look, I'm not at all saying that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and anybody in this government is innocent of anything. They guilty as hell, and they got lots and lots of blood on their hands. But this white man was literally like, I know the Lord wouldn't want me to do this, but you know what? Fuck the Lord.
Definitely. And I believe he was a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints. I mean, to the extent of the violence that Mormons have been capable of, I can't really say, but I don't necessarily think of the Mormons when I think of religious extremists who are about that sniper action, at least. So anyway, but my man's was disturbed that Joe Biden had the audacity even step foot in his state. She's like, right. You can't come to Utah. You can't come to, you can't try that shit in a small town. You can't do that shit.
Oh, that's the other thing. That's the other thing, Kim. I guess there are some things you can't do in a small town.
Yo.
Yeah, he's like, I'm getting my fatigues out. Let me dust these off. I haven't worn these since I was 47, but I'm about to go get this. And let me post online several times about my and all those. I'm sure all those folks who are saying he might, he was just joking. If they go through those posts, all those same people, the ones who like that post he put up on Facebook, those hearts, those likes, and all that kind of stuff. That's all the stuff they put up on there.
Yeah.
And again,
and let's not forget that the Mormons are a bunch of settler colonialists.
So
violence and in their theology, they believe that Black people are cursed, and they wouldn't allow Black people to be priests until what, the 70s?
70s, yeah.
Yeah, until the 70s. So there's still a whole lot of racism so they don't skate.
No, but to the extent I didn't know that they were shooters though. I mean, silly me. Silly of me.
They white, ain't they?
True, Jackie. Thank you for the correction. See, sometimes my naivete presents itself. I be trying to give white folks the benefit of the doubt if they don't deserve it. Like, no, not the Mormons. Yes, nigga, the Mormons, rowdy.
No, the Quakers might be the only group of white people of faith that I don't immediately side eye until they, prove themselves otherwise.
I concur. Yeah, I concur. The Quakers, I give a little bit of the, although they do like, they themselves may not like the use of quote unquote violence, but they certainly love Black Panther Party members and BLA people.
This is
There's always a good job at the Quakers for my folks. That was like something I depended on. I was like, I like that. I like that about y'all.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Quaker Socialists.
Look, the ear doctor has abandoned us.
You notice that?
And
you notice that he just rolled on out?
He just rolled off and left a little message. So, but he left me in charge of pushing buttons. Yeah. There's gonna be some problems. So I need to do a little. I'm gonna do a commercial break first. Our special guest is here. So I'm gonna try to do the commercial break first and then come back. If this fails and I somehow end broadcast, everybody just meet us back up here in a few minutes or whatever. So let me see how this goes. Y'all stay there. Get ready to keep talking.
Well, let's keep it moving. How about I spit something for the crowd there? Check this out. All right, here we go. Yo. I'm a dead ringer for a king or foul. Chief shooting the arrow, blood in my bone marrow very. Any mean type necessary on the mic. And I might not always say what you like. You be alright though, cause music's supposed to help you grow, make you high when you low, bring the light what you don't know. So check your ego at the door. I don't care if you a scholar, you dumb, rich or poor. The more the merrier, man, the bigger the better. This style's for free, so keep your cheddar. My heart can't measure, the pleasure's all mine. I'm blessed by the gods to put word to rhyme. Confining no religion, no Euro superstition. I deal with the masses without division. I know how to listen, so with that I gain wisdom to my elders and ancestors. Thanks for vision. I risen like a phoenix out the ashes of Trenton, but it's not just the city, it's the world I'm representing. So from right here to back there, this side, that side, y'all everywhere. Say yeah, yeah, say yeah, yeah, say yeah, 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 yeah. Haha, we having a good time.
All right, that's enough of that. Sorry.
Hey, right there.
Did I do that well though? Did I do that part well? That was, I mean, I did a fast. Yeah, that was okay though, right? All right, now I'm gonna need to narrate every button I press. Now I'm gonna bring up our guest, but first I'm gonna do the Kim, because since this is Kim's desire to have, I'm gonna do the Kim break as if it was like her guest. And then we're gonna come back and somehow I'm gonna put the guest on screen. And it's gonna look all cool. It's gonna look all cool, y'all.
Pray, y'all. Pray now.
Here we go. So coming up next is our special guest, y'all. Damn, I'm good. I need to marvel in my excellence for a couple of seconds.
You're not supposed to.
No, supposed to just the content. That's why I can't be a radio host or whatever. So our special guest, all the way from Atlanta, where I'm also at, Miss Kiana Jones. I don't have her bio in front of me, but let me just tell you who this person is really quickly. Kiana Jones is a preacher of the gospel. She is an organizer extraordinaire. She is a fantastic speech maker. In fact, I won't even go after her. I was like, anytime there's a program, I'm like, nah, fuck that. Nah, I gotta go first. I'm not going after her. This don't make no sense, right? She is the Community Movement Builders Fellow, Malcolm X Fellow, working on Cop City. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Kiana Jones to talk to us today about all things Cop City and even some things about Miss Kiana Jones. How are you doing, sis?
Hey, y'all. Good morning. Thank you for having me on. Kamal, that was an amazing introduction. And I'm always like, yo, why do you say these things about me? Because now I got to live up to this shit for real. Oh, man.
Reverend Jones, it is my honor, my personal honor. Well, you graced our channel with your presence this morning. Thank you so much for making some time to be with us. I am like your biggest fan. I'm like every time I see a clip. Every time I see a clip of Reverend Jones, I said, "Where is her church? Where can I send? Where can I send my tithes? Where do they go? Because she earned it. She deserves it. Like your passion and the way that you speak, girl, the way that you read these Atlanta City Council people and the mayor and the police down. I said, my God. Lord have mercy. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your fearlessness and your tenacity. I'm not even a resident of Atlanta, but I'm thanking you on behalf of the people of Atlanta that there are people like you out here that are standing up and speaking out against the absolute nonsense, the Black misleadership class, the police state, and everything that's happening there. It's heartening to know that there are soldiers like you and Kamal on the ground amongst many, many others, of course, but thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you. It is really, really my honor to be able to stand for my people, man. My granny wouldn't have it any other way, because my granny's like, baby, I always told you to fight for your people. So literally every day when I wake up, my feet hit the floor, I thank God and I say, give me the strength to go and do what it is I got to do, because we have to win. There is no option for us losing. There is no way that we can continue to live in a world, in a society that oppresses us everywhere we turn, and we're going to take it. We're not taking this sitting down anymore. And people need to know that they don't have to take it sitting down, and they don't have to do it alone. Because if you're going to stand for the right thing, then I'm going to have your back. And I dare anybody to come up against me. So, I wish they would, because they don't know who my granny was and what she put in me. And there is no punk in here. I will fight until the very last breath in my body. That's what I'm going to have to do, because I have a lot of people who are dependent on me, my own children, other people's children, the children who we have yet to birth, who will make this world great and who will see our dreams come to fruition. We have to have some justice for them in this lifetime. In this lifetime of mine, we are going to see some liberation for our people. If it is the last thing that I do, we are going to see the falling down of some structures. And people say a lot of things to me like, oh, you're a preacher and you curse and you be telling people they're going to go to hell. And that's because there are some people who are going to bust hell wide open because they are misleading the people of God. And it's not just this Black misleadership class. It's these reverends, these bishops, these so-called prophets, all of these people who call themselves members of the cloth and are clergy members who have taken a charge of the great mandate to go out into the hedges and highways and compel them to come. You leading them to hell in a handbasket because you pimping from the pulpit, but what you selling ain't no good. So those types of things are really the things that I have to come to stand against. And it just so happens that along the way, we got to knock down a few of these punks who look like us in places of political authority. So, Kamal told me I can say anything I want to say. So that's what I do.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we had the clip where Kiana and a few other folks were going to do a civil disobedience. And then they were on a bus, and then now maybe you can tell the story a little better than I. And they accidentally ran into or saw from the bus window Andre Dickens and several city council folks, I guess, at some sort of fire department opening. And they basically pulled the bus over and stopped doing the one that they were going to do, and then rolled up on Andre Dickens, who Miss Jones was saying, Andre Dickless, where are you at? Andre Dickless, where are you at? In full earshot of the mayor, where the police came and tried to sort of move her back. And by the end of the cop this individual cop trying to slowly push her back, and Kiana went into preacher mode. And by the end of it, she said, "Give me your hands. Give me your hands. Pray together. Let's pray together." Do you remember what you asked him to pray for? And because he gave her, it's young black cop. He gave her his hands, and stopped whatever he was doing to pray with her on the spot. Can you remember a little bit of what you asked? What you had?
Yeah, it was a trip because the young man was coming and telling me that I needed to move to the sidewalk, and I was like, "No, I ain't moving to no sidewalk. We're on public property. This is a public event. I'm a member of the public. I'm right here. People around me are not being asked to move. So why is it so imperative that I have to move?" He's like, "Because you're at a press conference and you're yelling." I'm like, so what? I can do that. But he had 2 other female officers with him. And the more we talked, they didn't surround me, but they were kind of staged in what would be a semicircle. Mm-hmm. So I said to him, "Well, we in this circle. Can we have prayer? Is this a prayer circle?" And I was totally being an ass. but he was like, "No, yeah, we can have prayer." And me being the person that I am, I believe that prayer is always in order. I don't care where you are. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care how you do it. If you want to pray, then I'm going to pray because I do know the power of prayer. So when I touched that young man's hands, I don't know what his true intentions were before he said that he would pray, but I could feel his energy as I prayed with him, that he had the heart to do what was right and that he was very conflicted. So I prayed for him that he would be able to stand even in the midst of adversity, that he would be able to take a stand knowing that he's being given orders that are not right, knowing that he's being told to oppress the very people that he wanted to help. I prayed for that young man that he would have strength to stand. And even if he needs to leave that job, then God provide for him that he could leave that job. And I had asked him before about his mother because he was saying, "Look, I respect you. My mother's an evangelist." And I said, "Do you think your mother would stand by if somebody had murdered you and she could talk to the people responsible for that? Do you think your mother would back down from somebody telling her that she got to move?" He was like, "My mother would move." I said, "No, she wouldn't. Your mother wouldn't back down. Ain't no way in hell you're going to make me believe that your mother would back down." So as I prayed for him, I prayed for his mother too, that she would be strengthened. And I prayed for God to protect him because I believe that he is one of the ones who could be a difference maker. He could be a person who will come over to the right side and do the right thing. So as we prayed, I felt his energy that, he was sincere, and his little cronies was praying too. And I loved it. And when we said amen, he asked if he could give me a hug. And I said, yes, that's okay. Because the love is the thing that has to be between us. That's the only way that we are going to get somewhere together. We have to have enough love that even those people who are in a position where they are being ordered to repress and suppress our voices, we got to have enough love that we can see the need in them for someone to stand with them. And if he said today, "You know what? I want to quit the police department and I want to make this press conference. I want to just tell all the bullshit," I would stand right there behind him because it's got to be done. And we have to have some people who are going to be real enough to understand that there is no way that we are going to bring down this system without first infiltrating this mug and putting our people where we need them to be. And then we can rebuild it to what we want it to be. But we have to make some alliances and we have to build some bridges before we can just go and tear down some shit. I can't go tear down the castle if I can't get over there first. I need a bridge to get me over. I'm gonna need that bridge over troubled water because it's about to be a lot of troubling in the waters, and we gonna need something to carry us over. So those types of things are the things that I hope would show people that we're not out here because we hate police. We love police because they're people, but we hate policing because that institution is an institution of slavery. Police started as slave catchers. That state was invented to protect private property because at the time, Black people were seen as private property. So they still embody that same core tenet. And that is what they build all of their policies off of. Black people being property and not being people, and them wanting to protect the other property of the corporations who they represent. Those things are what we are against in the state of policing, and that's what we truly do not want, because it doesn't benefit us at all.
Now, Reverend Jones, first of all, I want to thank you for being that light. I want to thank you for being that light of the true revolutionary Jesus. Thank you so much. And for being about that life. Thank you for being a gangster for the real Jesus.
Thank you.
A gangster for God.
Thank you.
And I know, and I say this to you as a person of faith, as a Christian myself, as a follower of Jesus. So I'm just sitting here listening to you, just really praising the Lord, just all close to shouting, but I don't want to freak people out.
Hey, let the Holy Ghost have his way.
Because but I know some people will take issue with the statement you just made about, we don't hate police, but we love the people because the police are people. We hate the institution. And I think there are discussions to be had over those kinds of things that we disagree with about our different approaches to getting to the same place, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as a person of faith, I'm curious about and understanding that is your perspective, why you joined an organization. Why did you join Community Movement Builders, whose position on policing is, they're after the same thing, but they have a position of, look, the police are just, there are no good cops, because they cover for each other. Even the cops who are not actively killing people and violating people's rights, they cover for each other, and they don't. So why join an organization when your position or your approach on getting to the place of changing policing is a little bit different from maybe the majority opinion of that organization?
You know what? It really isn't, because I will say that as you are in your position as a cop, it ain't no good cops. Like we always say, no good cops, no bad protesters. In your position as a cop, you're really not good, because you're in a place where you are allowing bad things to happen many times. The only good cop is one that will stand out, that will speak up. And usually that person is not going to be a cop for long. Whether they are going to be fired, they have to quit, or God forbid, you know how cops do, they may make sure they take you out some other way. But what I do see is that there are some who went with the intention of doing good. They've gotten sucked in. And I can say, because I have a few members of my family who are actually in law enforcement. They are the only ones in my family, by the way, who support me against Cop City. But a few members of my family who are in law enforcement, who have seen it, who have had it happen to them, whether it's demotions, whether it's harassment, they've been there where they're trying to be the good cop. But then at some point, people begin to think about their lifestyle and their money just a little bit more than taking that stand. They think about those 2 children that they have in college, and the baby that's in private school, and the one who was just born that they want to go to the Goddard school and all of this type shit. So they turn a blind eye, or they try to avoid it. They will get other positions and other stations within the department that will maybe give them the opportunity where they're not interacting with the public. They become paper pushers. They do other things, but they will remain in policing. So my position really is not different from that of the position of Community Movement Builders. The only place where I would say we might veer off is that I believe that anybody can be saved. There are some people who say, you know what, they bad. They just bad. Them suckers ain't never going to do nothing else. But I believe that everyone can be saved, and that people can change their minds and change their hearts. And we know that that is something that through the power of God in this universe, it can happen. It can happen. And I believe that it can. And I'm going to endeavor as much as I can to make that happen wherever I have the opportunity.
Reverend Jones, one of the things that jumped out to me, like I said, ask the people who watch my show, every time there's a clip of Kiana Jones circulating, y'all, we're gonna watch this, okay? Because Kiana's spitting right here, and I think it was one of the times that you were giving testimony in front of the city council, and you were saying that my community doesn't want Cop City, I don't want Cop City, my granny doesn't want Cop City, and that really landed with me because my she gone now, but my granny is my granny, my southern granny, and there is something about that because our grannies protect us, they nurture us, they take care of us, and now that we are big adults, it's our turn to nurture and take care of our grannies, and it's very clear that your grandmother instilled a political fight of spirit within you, and part of that generation, some of their goals, I think, was to try to get Black folks into positions of leadership, thinking that if we have Black faces as the mayor, as the police chief, on the city council, then it could possibly change our condition. But seeing the way that the political misleadership in Atlanta has colluded with the police state, colluded with the corporate powers, what how do you fight that fight when the people that you would hope would be in the position to do what's best for the community are in fact organizing and strategizing and plotting against the community with the construction of this Cop City?
Yeah, my granny, God rest her soul, my granny just made her transition a few weeks ago.
Sorry. I'm very sorry to hear that.
My granny, thank you. My granny was 90 years old. Woo. And even with Alzheimer's, my granny was the toughest person I knew in life. And even with Alzheimer's, my granny never forgot who I was, and she never forgot what I did. And every day that I stopped by to see my granny, if I told her that I was going to City Hall, or if I told her I was going to an action, my granny always told me, burn it down, baby. Let them know who you are. Remember who you are and where you come from, and say what you want to say, because I'm your granny. And I dare them. My granny used to carry around a Louisville Slugger when I was a little girl. And I've seen her use it. I've seen my granny snatch a grown man out of a moving vehicle. I've seen my granny do things that some other grannies might not ever do. But it's definitely where I get my fight, because one thing that was incumbent upon me was that I could never let my granny down. Out of all the people in the world, whenever I do anything, because people would say, well, how do you get up there and say that? How can you be so bold? And the thing is, like, I'm nervous every time I open my mouth. But before I do anything, before I say anything, my first thought is, one, is my granny going to be proud of me? Two, would my mother have been proud of me? And three, will this embarrass my children when they hear this? And if I can say yes to all of those and no to the one about it embarrassing my children, then that's my green light, because I know that this is to glorify God, because this is something that will help somebody. And for me, I don't care how high the walls are. Joshua and his people marched around the walls of Jericho 7 times, and those walls fell. And sometimes that's what we have to do, because sometimes it looks like we're on this never-ending paradigm of chasing our tails when we're working with electoral politics and doing certain things in community. But sometimes that's just what it takes. Because see, as you keep going around and around, you can be on Jacob's ladder, and every round is going higher and higher, and that fire is burning more and more until you have enough to burn that mother down. So I always say, like, don't quit. We can do this, because at the end of the day, those of us who know the words of the Bible, who really believe some of those things that it says, we know that it says that from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom suffereth violence, but the violent take it by force. I'm coming for everything that belongs to me. And I don't care if that's my vote. I don't care if that's my tax dollars. I don't care if that's the right to live in a community where I ain't got to see cops when I open my door. If that's the right for my children not to be harassed when they leave. If that's the right for me to live in an environment where there's not constant gunfire because of a firing range around the corner. I'm coming for all of my stuff, because it's mine, and I'm taking it back. And when I take it back, I dare you to try to come and get it out of my hands, because I ain't letting go.
Now, I was real quick. Now, Ms. Jones, because you're a controversial reverend within the house of the Lord, and you've been known to call out your fellow reverends, even those who like to consider themselves progressive. So in particular, I'm thinking about right now the Black clergy. I'm forgetting the name of their organization.
Oh, the Concerned Black Clergy.
Concerned Black Clergy, who have a history in Atlanta of being so-called progressive Black clergy. But on this particular issue of Cop City, they've sided up to the mayor completely and have decided to do press conferences in support of Cop City. Again, these same folks who call themselves progressive, outside agitators, working in the spirit of Dr. King. And you have not held fire in terms of telling those folks what you think about them and their opinions and so forth. So how do you like, and you might see them someplace or whatever like that. How does that work for you in terms of that spirit of calling out folks again who claim to believe very similar things that you do spiritually or religiously, but who fall on different issues and stuff like that? You don't seem to be the type of person who holds fire when it comes to that.
I absolutely don't. And I wish I would see them in public. You know, God does things for a reason. And there are some things that I know that he withholds from me, because there are times when I'm not going to hold myself. Like you said, I'm not going to hold fire. I do try to exercise a certain level of decorum in all places that I go. I try to read the room and, know when it's time to do what. But what I do know is that there's no way that I would ever see a Jamal Bryant who did a live video about Cop City, but then erased it from the Instagram page. I would not see Jamal Bryant and hold my tongue. I would definitely call him out. I would not see Timothy McDonald without saying, Mister, you can barely breathe. Why in the world are you out here supporting Cop City? Like, that's what you want to do with those last few breaths you got? You got 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on the banana peel. You better do the right thing, because you're close, baby. And the upper room may not be open for you. So I'm gonna need you to get it together, right? But if I should ever see Shannon Jones, who is the president of the so-called Concerned Black Clergy, the first thing I'm gonna tell him is that S-Curls played out in the 80s, baby. That's number one. Number two, you a liar and the truth ain't in you. And I hope you know that God is going to say to you, just like Jesus did, depart from me, you worker of iniquity. I never knew you, because ain't no way in hell you know God. And these are the things that you are walking around doing and saying. You don't bust hell wide open. I'm going to tell him like I told Andre Dickens, because I want to talk to his pastor especially. And I keep telling him to send his pastor to talk to me. God is not pleased with that stuff. And I let him know, y'all gonna bust hell wide open with gasoline draws on, and I hope these firefighters can put that one out, but I don't know. There's no piece of me that would let the opportunity go by, because one thing that we have as true preachers of the gospel is a duty to cry loud and spare not. The Bible said, cry loud and spare not. And when you see wrong being done, I would be no better than these same police officers who I'm constantly calling out because they see wrong and turn a blind eye. If I saw any one of them and didn't say it, because at the least they need to repent too. They need to be given an opportunity, and they need somebody who's not afraid. I don't know what it is that people are afraid of them. Like, they some punks. I don't know if y'all have ever seen them, but like, Lee May walks around like with this little strut, like he kind of, savvy or something. He was like the former CEO of DeKalb County or something. Bro, I don't think you see what you look like you lame. But you really don't want to miss heaven because you jumped on a bandwagon for a position of authority and a seat at the mayor's table. You got to be careful whose table you sitting at. See, when Daniel and the 3 Hebrew boys sat at the king's table, they didn't eat the king's food. But these suckers are sitting at Andre Dickens's table, and they're eating up every evil morsel that he throws out there, and they're taking it to feed also to their congregations. They have bloody hands as watchmen now. And see, those people who don't know, they'll have a consequence, but it's not going to be anything like the consequence of those who do know and lead the people astray. So I'm really trying to save their souls from a burning hell. They might not like how it comes, because honestly, you know, like, I'm always ready to box. I'll two-piece you in a minute, but we don't have to go there. We can simply make it a conversation. But somebody gonna have to whoop their ass though one day. Somebody.
Yes, yes, God. Praise his name. Listen,
Oh,
Kiana, in terms of the turning of the tide, and it may not even be a turning of the tide, because maybe perhaps people in Atlanta were always against Cop City, but over this past year and a half, 2 years, you know, the level of organizing and political education to the citizens and residents of Atlanta about Cop City, about what it is, about how it is not only you know, an issue about police being militarized, further militarized in the Black areas. But in addition, it's an environmental justice issue. They're trying to cut down acres, hundreds of acres of forest as the South swelters under these, oppressive temperatures as the climate continues to change. You know, should this project go forward, it is going to make the lives of the residents of that area that much more difficult. In addition, you know, trying to survive floods, trying to survive, you know, scorching temperatures, etc. You guys have done an amazing job. Kamau, take a bow here too. Y'all have done an amazing job informing the people to the point where that one particular comment session, they couldn't even accommodate everybody that wanted to come out and speak against Cop City. Like, they put a cap on it. And to me, that's amazing. Like, not how, because I've seen how, but tell me, I mean, your reflections and your observations as you have seen people gain enlightenment around this issue, and not only gain enlightenment, but get angry, and not only just anger, but spurring them to action, spurring them to show up, spurring them to give their elected officials the business behind Cop City. Talk to me about those efforts and how you have seen the education about what Cop City is and what it's going to mean to the Black folks of Atlanta. How you've seen that evolve over the past year and a half.
I have definitely seen an uptick in people who are more knowledgeable about what Cop City really is. And definitely a big shout out to Kamau, to Jasmine Burnett, who is my organizing director, to Kwame Olufemi, the whole team at CMB, but to Mary Hooks and M4BL, to Abiodun Henderson and Gangsters to Growers, to so many other organizers who are here in Atlanta with us, who have truly hit the streets. I mean, I think Abiodun Charlotte Henderson, because she always says her full name, and we have to give honor to her ancestor, who was Charlotte. She attended an open house, a town hall about Cop City, because she heard about it, wanted to be involved somehow, and got connected with a canvassing group that was canvassing for Cop City. Once Abiodun went out one day canvassing, she hit the ground running after that. There was no way that you could stop her when it came down to canvassing. Everybody who she saw, she was like, hey, what you doing? You got some spare time? Can you come over here and help us canvass? She mobilized so many people to hit doors. Now, mind you, we had partners over at Surge who were already canvassing, and they were the ones who trained Abby, you know, got her out into the streets. And, you know, our Surge partners were getting kind of tired. They were growing weary because they had been doing this from the beginning. And once Abby came on board, got with the Surge partners and started to bring in other people, it became a priority to knock on as many doors as we could, to hit people up in as many places where we could meet them, to tell them what was really going on. Because what she found was that the people who lived closest, like literally lived in the neighborhood that I used to live in, knew virtually nothing about what Cop City really is. The only thing they knew was new police training facility, and firefighters too, they need a place. That's all they knew. And they would say, oh, well, they need to be trained, because a lot of the people in that area, this is where the neighborhood where I grew up, a lot of the Black people in that area are part of our mushy middle, that middle class, middle to upper age people of Black people, of the Blacks that we know. And I would say maybe between the ages of 50 and 70, that mushy middle right there They are a class of Black people who believe that they have somehow made it and they need to be protected from the riffraff. So we need this to protect us from them. But once you begin to talk about the intersectionality of this movement and what Cop City really means, should it be built, once you talk about not only the environmental effects, but once you talk about the fact that this affects reproductive justice, even this affects childcare, this affects healthcare, economic justice, and how we live together in community, then people kind of sit up, because of those organizing areas, people usually have one that resonates with them a bit more than others. And when you can show that relationship between the fact that one of the 4 pillars of reproductive justice says that I have the right to raise the children that I choose to have in an environment that is safe, healthy, and free of state-sanctioned and interpersonal violence, and then you tie that to childcare and what it means for my child to really be cared for in community, and you think about the fact that not only environmentally is the water already poisoned there, and the denigration of these trees is causing more poisoning to the water, but the constant gunfire with 2 schools being right there on either side, the effects of constant noise on adults, it's been shown. But think about the developing minds of children, and think about how they say that our children in Black areas like South DeKalb County don't perform as well on standardized tests. But how can they when they already have lead in the water? And now that constant gunfire is making them anxious to the point that they can't concentrate, they can't focus, they can't think critically. And why should my son Daniel be accustomed to hearing that all the time, but white Daniel can't hear that? So we have all of these issues of racial and social justice that tie together, that we've been able to show people cannot be separated from one another. Because if you were to separate anyone, even if you tried to make it stand alone, there is no way that it does not overlap into another area, because we don't live singular lives. Our lives are composed of many facets, and the things that we do and how we live this life, they're intertwined. So there's no way that we can separate all of these issues from Cop City, because Cop City would certainly make all of them worse for Black people.
We should also say that Kiana was a plaintiff, or is a plaintiff, in a lawsuit that was filed to make sure that DeKalb County residents who are right there next to Cop City would be allowed to participate in the petitioning to get signatures for the referendum. The ballot, the city ballot initiative laws prohibited anybody outside of Atlanta from collecting petitions, basically from walking around with pads with petitions and getting people to sign up. They made it so strictly Atlanta residents, and the court, for me, to a lot of our surprise, said that was something that was inconsistent with allowing democracy to function. And that was something that Kiana and several others were a part of, which gave the larger campaign basically new life, because that meant that anybody in Georgia now can come to Atlanta and help support the signing up for petitions. And then in addition to that, the judge said, because this restriction hurt us in consequential ways in terms of those of us who are trying to gather petitions in this ballot initiative, that we were given an extra 60 days to collect signatures. Now, to use the 60 days, that means that we probably won't be on the November ballot, we'll be on the March ballot. But by using the extra time, it allows us to get so much more overage in terms of the signatures that, at least in our estimation, it'll be nearly impossible for the city council, when they begin to review signatures, to knock those signatures off. So again, another special thing, not only is her oratory something that brings people out, that gets people excited and motivated and want to be a part of this movement, not only is it her political activism on the ground talking to people, but it is the astuteness of where to apply those skills and how to use them in ways which even broaden and support the movement. So for all of that too, I just wanted to say thank you, Kiana, publicly, for all the work that you do, not only obviously with community movement builders, but outside of that, because you were an entity all into yourself before we came along and joined forces with you. So we appreciate being in community with you, working with you, and organizing with you. And we'd love to have you back on again. So
Thank you so much. Y'all make me feel super duper special. I love it. Thank you.
Reverend Jones, you are special. When I hear you speak, it stirs me in ways that I didn't even think that was capable. I like I said, I've been asking for months where your church. I know you don't have a church per se, but I mean, if you had a church in where I live, I would be there. Like I would show up to listen to you speak, to listen to you preach, to listen to your interpretation of the gospel. So you have a gift. Like you are extremely gifted and talented, and it's obvious that what your purpose is on this planet. And I want to give homage to your granny, to all your ancestors, to everybody that poured into you, because I hear the way that you are pouring into the community, your genuine love and concern for your folks. It is palpable. It comes through so strong. So I just want to thank you. We are here to love you, to support you, to uplift you, to do whatever, to protect you. Tell us if somebody acting up. You know what I'm saying? You let us know, and we will handle the situation. But I just want to thank you for your work. Thank you for who you are and what you bring, and for the love that you have for our folks. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I actually do preach at Park Avenue Baptist Church here in Atlanta.
Okay.
My senior co-pastors are Reverend Darcy Jarrett and Reverend Henry Chenault. We are going to be starting a sermon series in September on the pleasure principle. And I will be kicking off that sermon series September 3rd.
Okay, I got to ask. I'm sorry. I just got to ask.
Yes.
What is the pleasure principle when it comes to a sermon?
You just need to show up in church and find out.
Y'all know Kamal atheist ass is not showing up in not for the service now. But you know what though? Let me not say that.
I might pull the wine. Is there some wine going to be spilled after the band, in the church band?
After the band, he said.
Look now, let me tell you, we have a lot of things going on at Park Avenue that you really might want to come and check out. We've been doing ATL Freedom Summer, and it's been a series of teach-ins for this summer in the tradition of freedom schools. And this particular Sunday is going to be decolonizing education. So you may want to tune in on Facebook, to see that. But the pleasure principle for us, it simply states that you can live a life of pleasure and love God. You can be totally in line with his word and love God. Because I'm going to tell you one thing, I got a husband, right? Oh, it's going to be some pleasure going on.
Okay.
Because that's the will of God for my life. Okay. That is the will of God for me to prefer my husband, to give deference to my husband, and for him to be a willing and open receiver of that, and vice versa. Because you know what? If my husband and I have that pleasure, then what will our children be? Happy, nurtured, strong. What will our family be? Formidable, right? So we have to move from this philosophy that Christianity and following Christ is all about what you can't do, the fun that you can't have, the things that you got to turn away from. When I was little in church, we used to sing this song that said, like, I moved from my old house and I moved from my old friends. I moved from my old way of life, and thank God I moved out to a brand new life. That brand new life doesn't always mean that you're cutting off everything that is old, because everything that is old is not bad, and it's not something that's of detriment to you. But you definitely don't have to move away from fun. We can restructure that, we can reshape that, we can reframe that, but pleasure is something that God wants for us, because the Bible says, delight yourself in the Lord. We deserve some delight. And trust me, it's plenty of it to be had right here on this earth with the people that we know and love, and others who we are even yet to meet. So look, the pleasure principle starting September 3rd. Y'all check it out, because we have to stop making people feel so oppressed in these churches. And that's the reason why I go to Park Avenue. Because one of the things that we have to realize is that everybody is not going to believe the same thing exactly the way that we do. Everybody is not going to find God in the way that we do. And for many of us, we had to leave the church to find God truly. Because it was not in those ritualistic practices of tradition that oppressed us and made us feel inadequate, as if we would never be enough in this world. There is no way that you can nurture a person by telling them how bad they are, how evil they are. There is no way. Nobody rises to low expectations. So we have to, as the church, we have to be what we were originally intended to be, because first of all, Jesus said that you are the church. This is the church. Upon this rock, I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. We have to build each other up, because we are the rocks. We are the church. We are the ones that if we stand together, the gates of hell will not prevail. We can't keep telling people, oh, you don't need to wear that skirt, it's too short. Well, damn it, get her a new one. We can't keep telling, oh, don't put on that lipstick, that's Jezebel. Well, sucker, do you know what the spirit of Jezebel really is? I think it's you, because you're trying to manipulate me.
Ooh.
Like, we can't keep doing those types of things. And I think that those are the reasons why Kamau, I'm really controversial. Because I have a whole gang of ordained ministers in my family, and you know I'm the black sheep, but it's all right with me, because hey, black is back, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm all right with that. But definitely, we at Park Avenue seek to deconstruct some of those things that have been built up in the church to make people feel like they have to stay conformed and confined within a certain framework. Mm-hmm. And if I don't move exactly this way, then I'm not good enough for God, or I'm not going to make it to heaven, or I'm somehow sinning. The devil is a liar. And I'm going to need people to understand what the God in them really is about, and how he will manifest himself in ways that do bring you pleasure, and it ain't nothing wrong with it.
Well, I appreciate that answer. That I might be there. Maybe. But anyway,
let me just say, Reverend Jones, before we get out of here, I speak a blessing over you and your house and your family and everything you touch, everything you are involved in, everywhere you go and your people go, that this love and this fire of the people that comes from the Lord spreads like wildfire, and that you are protected by forces that no man and no weapon can penetrate. And I love you, and I thank you.
Oh.
And I bless you.
I receive it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I receive that in Jesus' name, Dr. Jackie. God bless you. I appreciate that prophetic word. I appreciate the covering, because we are nothing without the covering of our ancestors, of those who are also our elders, who we can appreciate, because we have a lot to learn from those who have walked this path longer than we have. And I appreciate that so very much. I love y'all. Please keep doing the work. I will be back anytime you ask me to be, because this is truly a blessing to my soul. And I pray that the remix will continue, that it will just keep remixing and keep remixing and keep remixing, that the remix would be just like the widow woman who had enough to eat every day, that her barrel was never empty, that every day your coffers would be full, and that you would continue to go on. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go out with a Jackie break, and then come right back. All right, so nobody move. Remix on it. Show. Remix Morning Show, y'all. Is it the best thing about that interview was that I did both the beginning and the end by pressing the right buttons, and so I should get a round of applause. Not only for that, I should get a round of applause to bring Kiana Jones on to allowing both Jackie and Kim to basically almost shed tears online.
Jesus.
Now I found the new minister. I can't believe that y'all said like I feel like I've made some I'm gonna mess it up if I want to mess it up. So I should not talk.
Go on, say it. Be
No.
yourself.
Thank you, girl. Let the Gemini be himself. Let him be awesome by bringing Kiana on, and then let him be just be less awesome. But yes, by showing a gross lack of humility. That
explains everything. That explains every damn thing.
Doesn't it though? Doesn't it?
Oh my God. Okay.
I'll leave it alone. So I hope everybody enjoyed that interview. That was Miss Kiana Jones. Again, I didn't even know what her permanent church and where she preaches at or whatever like that. So I'm glad she said that and got that information out there. And I mean, completely honest, she is a stirring force here in Atlanta and elsewhere in terms of not only, again, her oratory and her preaching, but how she uses those skills to fight against Cop City. So yeah.
Thank you so much for bringing her on. That was,
she that's talent. Not everybody can do that. You understand? Like a lot of people can read from the Bible. A lot of people can quote. A lot of people can raise their voice. That's a dope MC right there. Like she set her apart. You know what I'm saying? Set her apart. That's Elle Bugs. You know what I'm saying? Like she on some other shit. Big up to Zenzi Bell. Zenzi Bell, thank you so much for your super chat support, sweetie. I saw it a little earlier. Thank you.
And Zenzi Bell, by the way, yesterday said that her people are from near my hometown. So Zenzi Bell, we could be related. So we need to chat about, who our people is and how we connected. We got to find that out. But that is what love of the people looks like. That's what it looks like from a spiritual perspective. That's what loving the people looks like when you're a person of faith.
And the energy, the fact that her and her comrades was on a bus, seen Andre Dickens on the street, they said, pull up, wait, pull over.
Let's rebuke this devil right now.
Now. What's up now? And the fact that she calling out these pastors by name, she said, I wish I would see. So I said, God, yes.
Took me all the way out when she said,
wish I would see Jamal Bryant ass out here in these streets.
And the other person on the bus actually was Tortuguita's mom was on the bus too, and also came off the bus. And then these fake city council folks, tried to talk nice to her on the side, but still came out with no public statements, denouncing the murder of her son, calling for independent investigations. But yet the city council chose to try to use a photo of her, like talking to them later on. They had to take it down because there was so much backlash. They tried to use a photo of her later on to talk about how they were talking to their constituents. That's the depravity of what happens here. Wow. So they don't want to talk about her loss, the injuries that were caused by Atlanta Police, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, how all that comes around to Cop City being something that they are pushing forward. That they leave out, but they want to have some picture of someone touching her hand as if they were offering some sort of condolences and or at the very least speaking to her as a constituent and hearing her concerns. They do not hear her concerns. They do not listen to their voices. In fact, when they originally did we did the press conference, when the mom came up to announce the fact that there was going to be a wrongful death suit, the city of Atlanta scheduled at the same time as the press conference, them going into the forest and putting up fencing so that they can try to get cameras or media to cover that, as opposed to covering the press conference of the mother talking about the wrongful death suit in honor of her son and try to find justice and some information about what happened that day in the forest. So These folks will go through they won't stop at any limits in their attempt to try to steal a narrative and to promote Cop City, as opposed to listen to the majority of people who are saying that they don't want Cop City to be here.
Absolutely. We got 5 minutes left, and I want to make sure we talk about Haiti, because we seem to be moving closer to an armed intervention in Haiti. A few days ago, the Black Alliance for Peace, Haiti America's team, put out an unequivocal statement about Kenya's announcement to deploy a police force to Haiti with the Bahamas and Jamaica, and calling it Pan-African solidarity. Yeah, so I will read in part, and I'll give you all in the chat a link to this statement so you can read all of it, because there are links within the statement to other information on the Black Alliance for Peace website. But we state that there is an urgent need for clarity on the issue of occupation in Haiti, as described in a recent statement on Haitian colonialism. Haiti is under ongoing occupation. No call for foreign intervention into Haiti from the administration of appointed Prime Minister Ariel Henry can be considered legitimate, because the Henry administration itself is illegitimate. Nobody voted for Ariel Henry. He was imposed on the people of Haiti. BAP has repeatedly pointed out that Haiti's crisis is a crisis of imperialism. Haiti's current unpopular and unelected government is propped up only by Haiti's de facto imperial rulers. The unseemly confederacy of the core group countries and organizations, as well as BENU, the United Nations Integrated Office in Haiti, and a loose alliance of foreign corporations and local elites. When people talk about this organization called the Friends of Haiti, there really is no such organization. It's them. It's those folks. Henry and the UN have made a mockery of sovereignty by mouthing the slogan, Haitian solutions to Haitian problems, yet finding the only solution in violence through foreign military intervention. After repeated failed attempts to organize an occupying force to protect their interests and impose the will on the Haitian people, including appeals to the multinational organization, the Caribbean Community, or CARICOM for troops, they have now found a willing accomplice in Kenya, an East African country with its own set of internal problems. And since this statement was announced, Jamaica, the Bahamas have joined Kenya in agreeing to send police in to train Haitian police to combat the violence. There was an issue of this nurse, an American nurse, who was allegedly kidnapped in Haiti, which if you look at the situation and the timing of the situation, how convenient is it that all of a sudden an American nurse is kidnapped when there is all of this talk and all of these plans of an armed invasion into Haiti, but now all of a sudden they've been freed. She and her daughter have been freed after being kidnapped in Haiti last month. Very, very suspicious goings on with this nurse. But of course, the claim of an American kidnapped by these criminal Haitian gangs is just something else to add to this pretext for an armed invasion, for the need for an armed invasion into Haiti, because now the crazy Haitians are going after Americans. So we are closer than ever, I think, to another armed invasion into Haiti. It is a situation that we will continue to watch very closely. There are going to be some demonstrations, some speak outs in Washington, D.C., in some areas in Silver Spring, Maryland, in PG County, Maryland, and in Southeast D.C., raising this issue among the people this weekend, this Sunday. Follow me on Lucan Nation 1 on Twitter, still gonna dead name it, for details about that. But right. Yeah, we cannot let this situation in Haiti go on without us raising our voices against it, and also educating our people as to why this is important to us.
And in addition to that, and who's behind it. Like, this is obviously something the United States is completely behind. It's obvious that the bringing together of Kenya, Jamaica, and what was the third place you mentioned?
Bahamas.
The Bahamas.
Mhm.
These states are not acting on their own. They're acting at the behest. They're getting money probably from the United States. They're going to get other support. If this happens, this is because the United States has pushed this in order to keep in the Haitian powers that be, to continue on with the oppression and the hegemony that U.S. interest has over Haiti. So not only is this something in which these other nations are participating in, but we have to look at who is pushing this and who's trying to make this happen. And the folks that are doing that or behind this are definitely the United States. And so we have to make sure that that's called out. This could never happen without the United States, not only okaying it, but leading it and directing it in the background.
Exactly.
Absolutely. You guys, this has been an amazing week on the Remix Morning Show. Remixers, we appreciate you guys showing up, showing out. I think we hit our numbers. So, I mean, maybe Ear Doctor is in the hole for a mix for us to start off next week.
He definitely is. He definitely is.
He is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Acknowledge the super chat there, Kamal. Shout out to Kiana Jones, brand new member of Black Power Media. Book. Thank you so much, Trevor Jones. Get with the program.
Look at the Lord. Look at the Lord.
God. Run the super chat, Camus.
I'm trying to read it. Where's it at? It says a member. I can't find it. It's a member.
And we gave you such
$10
earlier.
It says, I found it, I think. Oh, my man Jordan Jones. Jordan, who's part of not only Community Movement Builders, but also a part of the Black Power Media family. He says, I want to point out that some police officers in this intervention were most likely trained or in cooperation with the programs like Gili in Georgia, Bahamas, for sure is one of them. And so again, Jordan is talking about the interconnection between Israeli police, the United States policing, and other policing around the country, which backs the style of Western policing, which is meant to oppress Black folks here, Palestinians, Haitians. All of this is not only an international contingent, but an international contingent of policing, which does what it can to keep the Western interests going, backing it and supplying it with weapons and training so that it can suppress local populations. So keep that in mind.
Word.
And so one more thing before we go to, I want to share my screen really, really quickly. So I will be in my beloved New York this Friday. We are going to have a special conversation on Cop City, community, and the future. In the future of organizing. It's going to be at 320 Tompkins Ave in Brooklyn. I want everybody to come out. We're going to talk not only about Cop City. I'll share this stuff that has been shared on my social media. I've shared it on Black Power social media. We're going to be talking about Cop City. We have folks who are interested in starting a chapter of Community Movement Builders in New York. And that's going to go along with some other chapters that we are starting to form, one in Sacramento, one in Los Angeles, one in Delaware, and now potentially one in New York. So we are expanding. We are a national organization in formation, ready to hit the ground and organize.
That's beautiful. Is this going to be streamed, Kamal? Because I would love to see the way that you speak when your feet hit Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I feel like just you being in the Brooklyn streets is going to energize you in a way. Yeah, bro. I mean, you really want to see Brooklyn come out? See Brooklyn come out in Brooklyn. You really want
we'll try to stream. We haven't worked that part out, but we'll try to stream. At the very least, we'll try to record to make sure that folks can get it, to catch it later on.
Yeah.
But definitely we'll try. Yeah, it's gonna be Brooklyn high. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn high. All my folks telling me already they're coming out, so I want folks to come out.
That's what's up. What's up. Jacqueline, you want to leave us with anything, my dear?
Which Friday is this? This is second Friday. So Black Labor Bulletin in Lukman Nation this Friday. Monday at 6 p.m. a special People's Power Hour. I am interviewing my daddy about what it's really like for us in a small town.
Oh,
yeah. And again, Sunday, Black Alliance for Peace, Mid-Atlantic Region, Black Alliance for Peace, DC Citywide Alliance, conducting a few speak outs on the Haiti situation. So busy as usual.
That's what's up. Hey guys, don't forget, Earn Your Liberation. I believe will be on tomorrow. Dr. Jared Ball back in town. You know what I'm saying? So tune in tomorrow for that. You can watch Burn It Down with Kim Brown Fridays, 7 in the p.m. Eastern. Ear Doctor Sundays. Of course, stay abreast of all the Black August programming that you'll find only exclusively here on Black Power Media. And I want everybody to have a wonderful, safe, beautiful, blessed, protected, highly favored, all that. Have a great weekend. And we'll see y'all back here for the Remix Morning Show next week, everybody.
Peace.
Well done, Kamal.